Hi everyone, this is Balázs from RacingBrick. The Rebrickable series is back today with a dedicated episode. Many of you enjoyed the previous video featuring the official Supra and the custom one, so I will try to do something similar in the future, but today we are focusing on a single designer again. A little backstory: LEGO has released tons of cars over the last few years, but each theme seems to have a specific category assigned to it. Speed Champions is probably the most diverse theme. This year there was a big bunch of F1 cars, and in previous years lots of different supercars, race cars and a few movie cars. Technic also has Formula 1, but otherwise it's mainly about racing, large-scale supercars, some movie vehicles and also a few off-roaders. Icons, on the other hand, which used to be called Creator Expert, is clearly focused on the classics, including Formula 1, with a few movie cars here and there. So what are we missing? Normal everyday cars. Where is the Ford Focus, the Honda Civic, the Toyota Camry, the Fiat Punto, the Volkswagen Golf and so on? If LEGO doesn't make these cars, I was sure I would find some custom-made ones on Rebrickable, and I wasn't disappointed. I'm sure you are familiar with the work of Firas Lego Cars. He has built many cool custom and alternate builds over the years, many of which you can find on his Rebrickable profile. Since I wanted to build something that wasn't a supercar, his Volkswagen Golf GTI MK1 seemed like the perfect subject. This is a premium mock with paid instructions, so I decided to add something that can be downloaded for free, this Ford Raptor. And I also brought the Countach bag that you could see in one of my previous videos. So let's start with the Golf. This is an alternate build of the 10304 Chevrolet Camaro. You don't need any other parts, although some of the spare parts included with the set are used. I hope you have those around if you want to build it. If you look at the car, it's clearly a Golf and a pretty good looking one. I'm always amazed by the talent that turns this car to this without using any extra pieces. Of course, there are a few compromises here and there, but the result is still stunning. And there are details in the interior too. The hood can be opened, we have a quite detailed engine compartment and even a rod here to support the hood. The doors open and there is a nice interior that is somewhat similar to the original, but still uses different building solutions. The front seats can be tilted forward to allow access to the rear, and the steering wheel is connected to the front wheels. The trunk can also be opened, and this is probably the most complicated part of the build and probably the most fragile as well. As you can see, the roof is not completely flat. The rear part is slightly sloping and sits on these angled pillars at the rear without being directly connected to them. The roof itself is attached to the windshield and the B-pillars. If I take the roof off, we can get a better look at the inside of the car and also check the structure of the roof itself. These entire assemblies back here are tilted just to achieve this look. When I open the hood, I can also move the windshield, but when the roof is in place, everything is in the desired position. It's not a perfectly proportional replica of a Golf, but I'm definitely impressed with the look and the building techniques used. Now let's take a look at the Ford F-150 Raptor. This is an alternate build of the 10265 Ford Mustang. Only parts from this set are used, including some spare pieces. The proportions and scale are quite different this time when we compare the two vehicles. Many of the characteristic details of the Raptor are recognizable, but this model definitely has a less polished look. I really like the way the grille and headlights are brick built. The hood can be opened and there are also some details in the engine compartment. The doors are openable, but they are a bit hard to move and the B-pillars stay in place. We have some nice details inside. The steering wheel doesn't move in this case, but there's a reason for that. The sunroof can be opened, another nice detail. The cargo bed may look a little unfinished, but the tailgate opens, and here's one of the cool features of the set, a hand-of-God steering knob that makes the Raptor quite playable. The construction is surprisingly sturdy, though you will have to watch out for the sunroof and the mirrors. All in all, it was a fun build, and if you consider the free instructions, it's definitely worth a try if you have the Mustang gathering dust on your shelf. Now let's take a look at the Countach. This is the alternate build of the 10295 Porsche 911, and like the others only uses parts from the set, including some spares. You could already see this build in the second part of my review of the 10337 Countach, where I compared the 3D printed version of the car and this custom build. Most people said that this build looks much better than the official one. I pointed out the differences and inaccuracies, but I was also very impressed with the build itself, as it is an alternate model, and despite this serious limitation, it managed to capture certain areas better than the Lego set. And there's another factor: I think people just like this design more because it looks like what people remember the Countach to look like, rather than what it actually looks like. It is very low and wide, impressive to be honest. And it has some cool features too. The hood opens, but of course there's no engine here this time. The doors open as they should, and there's a nice detailed interior. The steering wheel is functional and it is connected to the front wheels. The engine cover can be opened. There are some details underneath, and there's an additional storage compartment under the rear wing, which is not present in the official set. The representation of the rear lights is really impressive, considering the limited inventory of the Porsche set. All in all, this is an excellent looking and fairly sturdy alternate build that you should definitely check out. But I could say that about all the designs here, I guess. Here's the latest model, the Bugatti EB110, built from parts of the Countach. We already built these two here when this one came out, but I will definitely put it on my list because it looks great too. But there are a lot of other promising designs here. The Datsun 240Z looks awesome, as do the BMWs here or the Ford GT40. This really is a great source of alternate builds. You get high quality digital building instructions for every build. I suggest to check out the one of the Ford Raptor, as that can be downloaded for free. As always, you will find the links in the description. I recommend you check them out. Please let me know how you like these builds here. Have you built anything from the designer yet? Let's talk about it in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe with notifications, because there will be more exciting LEGO videos coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.